Hey, and welcome back to the Remote Studios. Today we're going to do lamps and lanterns, and this is a beginner build. And let's get started. I've got an array of lamps here and lanterns that I use in different builds. This is a double yoke wire. Just bring it straight up and then across and curve it back down kind of to the center. I've got a monkey head lantern. I've used this on my studio base. It's just kind of fun and different. And then I've got one here that I used on my Japanese palace because it fit. Now, my lighting video, you can see that these lanterns don't put out any light, so you use alternate lighting sources. Now, this is a Japanese lantern, and this will actually be lit. And I'm going to finish off this last side. We'll use a 1x1 wedge of lava. And then grab a 1x1x4 wedge and slide it in to continue the curve. All four sides are exactly the same as this one. And again, you can find a different variation on the Japanese palace. It's a little wider and a little shorter, and I used a can light inside. But this one, we're going to use a lever. Make sure it's already turned on. Slide it on in there. And then I've got a white wire. You could also use a red wire here, depending on what the mood is in the space that you're going for. And you've got plenty of room to put kinks in it. And remember, for each contact point you put in, the brighter these wires get. And this actually came out too bright and makes the white tiles glow. After this bit, I went back and took out about half the bends, and that was much better. But you can see the light it throws out. Let's get a post of lava. And it just slides right in. And a last 1x1 wedge of lava. We'll flip it over from the bottom. And this is a fairly easy lantern to make. And I just alternated two tiny tiles on one side and one on the other two. Give a little bit of variation. And done. And again, you probably won't see the light, but that's fine. And you can find other things on my Twitter feed, including the materials list for most of my builds. Now let's do a camping lantern, and we'll slide in here with a post blueprint. These sample posts I built for the demo are about as low as I could go and still get this done. So we'll do a post down, then a tiny tile of swamp green, and then a tiny floor of sinister. And I'm going to call this a camping lantern, even though it looks like the name brand. There we go. And one more tiny floor. And please like and subscribe if you like what you see. And there we go, our camping lantern. Now I'll move the post blueprint up and over. There we go. Just offset it. And let's go ahead and get another post. And we'll slide that BP in there as well. Now what this does is break up the post up top and kind of gives us a nice solid square, which will help us align the wire a little easier with less corrections. So eyeball for the center of the square. And now because of our blueprints, we kind of have an idea where to put it down here. You can kind of see the gaps on the blueprints and then just stick it. And that came out pretty straight, pretty good. One and done, I like that. Now, obviously you can't do that if you're doing a high ceiling, but you can put tiny floors down around it, and it does help line up. And when I'm not in game, you can usually find me in the Lumber Chat Discord. And there we go. 4 or 5 lamps and lanterns you can add to your base. These are great and easy visual effects, and I hope you find some use for them. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you again next time.